Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm RexFinance, and today, yesterday evening, there was some pretty big United States Postal Service news that came out regarding the much anticipated contract that Workhorse is chasing after. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through that delay, what that means for Workhorse, what I'm doing with my shares. And let me tell you, I am not selling. Let's get that out of the way right now, but I'll get into why I am not selling later on in the video. Now, I know I say it a lot, but I originally bought Workhorse shares at less than $3 per share. And the reason I'm bringing that up in today's video is because back then, I was making an investment in Workhorse's core product, their last mile delivery drones and their last mile delivery vehicles. The USPS contract was just icing on the cake and an extra little bonus item that went along with the investment. However, as the share price has risen, those roles have flipped. We've seen lots and lots of investors piling into Workhorse stock hoping to make a quick profit. And they're not investing in Workhorse for the long term. They could care less about Workhorse's drone technology and even their last mile delivery vans. All they're in the stock for is for this USPS contract and to make a quick profit. And what that creates, obviously, and sometimes unfortunately, is very weak hands. Whenever something even minor goes wrong with the plan, they sell out of their shares, but when something is going right, well, more and more of them keep piling in, they keep buying on more and more shares. And my main investment philosophy is to invest in the long term with hopes for short-term gains. Now, I've seen tremendous short-term gains, obviously, because I bought Workhorse shares when it was so cheap. But I'm still in this company for the long term because I'm invested in their drone technology. I'm invested in their horsefly. I'm invested in all of their product portfolio. Now, I've actually been on record saying that I think Workhorse is going to hit $100 per share if they get the majority of the contract. That thought process in my head has not changed one bit, and I can guarantee you that. People have been laughing at me and my investment in Workhorse ever since I first bought into the stock. So think about that. That was many, many months ago, and there have been trolls in bears and shorts in this company coming onto my channel laughing at my investment, and all they've seen me do is succeed and make money while they're losing money. So again, why would you let somebody else change your own tune on one of your investments? If you truly know what you're invested in, do not ever let some other individual change your tune on an investment that you own. So because of this, all the bears, all the shorts in the world can come out. I am not changing my thought process with Workhorse one bit. I'm a long-term investor with hopes for short-term gains. So what if the contract gets delayed another 3 months? That's 90 days that I have to wait longer than I've already been holding. And really what's made me put this price target on Workhorse if they win the majority of this contract is the fact in the saying that every reaction in the stock market is an overreaction. Now, you would be shocked how many times that saying holds true. 99% of the time, I would say that saying holds true. Whether it's good news or bad news, there's always an overreaction. In the case Workhorse wins the big contract, the share price would see an overreaction to the upside. In contrast, just like we've seen today, the minor bad news that the contract is being delayed has seen an overreaction to the downside. Now, I am not saying by any means that Workhorse stock won't continue to dip. I'm just saying people all over the internet over the past 12 hours have been saying that Workhorse is going back down to $15 per share. Now, sitting here today, that looks extremely unrealistic, and that's because it was an overreaction to the downside by lots of emotional and weak hands selling out of the stock. And unfortunately, what all that bearish sentiment does is cause even more people to sell out of the stock. But what you see in turn is these large institutions and smart money buying up all of the shares that these weak hands are giving away. Now, that is just unfortunate. It's good for these big institutions, but for the retail investor that is too emotional to hold on to the stock through the ups and downs, it's really unfortunate because they're having shares stolen from them practically. As of the most recent filing, over 44% of these shares are held and locked up by institutions. So that in itself is mind-boggling. That tells you that lots of the float isn't even a part of the float because investors like Cathie Wood own over 1 million shares of Workhorse. And really, the retail investors, the weak hands that are selling out and causing this minor sell-off in the stock today don't have much power in the long term. When you see that over 44% of the shares are locked up by institutions already, I can't even imagine what that number is going to be like after a day like today, or even after the contract is awarded. And if these big institutions can stomach the short-term pain, you can too. Do not let anybody tell you to sell out of your investment because we've seen a minor setback. It's just not the way the stock market works. That's called gambling. That's not called investing. So now let's get to the actual article itself. This article was released yesterday evening, so after market hours or almost right at market close. So a lot of people have been very skittish on this article and whether it's true or not. But I personally have to say I am very confident that what is said in this article is the truth. And there's many reasons for that. Trucks.com has been a reputable and very accurate source for the USPS contract updates ever since USPS contract became a thing. Now, some of you out there might think this is very unfortunate to hear. And yeah, you sure can look at it that way, but I look at it and smart money looks at it as just another opportunity, a bonus 90 days to buy even more shares of Workhorse. Nothing has changed in the company. If you thought that Workhorse was going to win the contract, that hasn't changed at all. The deadline has changed. So the statement we really want to pay attention to in this article, I've highlighted on the screen right now. It says, amid continuing COVID-19 concerns and in order to provide for capital investment activities and required approvals, the program schedule has been revised and a decision is now planned for Q2 of fiscal year 2021. Kim From, a spokesperson for the Postal Service, said in a statement to Trucks.com on Tuesday. Now, Kim From has always been the spokesperson for the USPS contract. She's always the one in emails that says the award is currently planned for this date at this time. And if the author of this article went onto Trucks.com and wrote this without any evidence, without even receiving the email or the statement in general, they would be liable for a lot of lawsuits, which is part of the reason, this is very likely to be true. Now, it hasn't been confirmed by the USPS themselves yet, but I fully anticipate it will be. However, an important note that I don't want you guys to miss is that it says it's currently planned for Q2 of fiscal year 2021. Q2 of fiscal year 2021 for the government is Q1 for regular investors, or Q1 for the regular calendar year. So the deadline right now is the last day of March. So again, that's 90 days away. Now, 90 days might seem like a long time for some of you guys, but for investors like me, that's very, very short term. And one thing I will say is that patience always pays. And when investors start making decisions based on their own emotions, that's generally when people lose money. It has been proven time and time again by countless individuals that patience pays, that if you have the patience, you will make money in the long term, and you are generally going to be more successful and more profitable than the people chasing these quick profits day in and day out. So with that, never get too emotionally attached to the highs, because then you're going to be emotionally attached to the lows, which is why you're seeing this sell-off yet again. And on my channel, I have said repeatedly, ever since Workhorse stock has kind of taken off, to never put in more money into this investment than you're willing to lose, because at its current price, and it's just the way it is, Workhorse is more of a gamble than an investment. I said earlier in the video, when I first bought in, it was an investment, and it was. But people that are just now buying into the stock at $25 per share, it's more of a gamble, because without the USPS contract, Workhorse would likely be sitting in the low teens or around $10 per share. If I let another individual change my tune on my investments, I would not be sitting with 700% portfolio gains in the year 2020. So always invest with your own intuition and knowledge. Don't rely on other individuals to make investment decisions for you, because after all, it's your money. Now, if you decide something fundamental changes with the company that you don't like, you don't want to be invested in the company anymore, that's a different story. Then that's the time to sell out of the company. But when we get a 90-day delay in one of the major catalysts, that's really not a reason to sell out of your investment. And if you're selling out of your investment, I would argue you're not investing, you are gambling. So with that, guys, today was kind of a shorter video, but I definitely wanted to get this information out there for you. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like down below. Also hit the subscribe button if you are new or returning and not yet subscribed. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll be back with a brand new video tomorrow. Peace out.